Tow capacity is defined as the amount of load a vehicle is allowed to tow as per the vehicle's manufacturer. However, there are specific weight conditions that need to be met, and often the actual tow capacity may differ depending on the weight implications you may have already placed on your vehicle. If you've ever tried to calculate your actual tow capacity, you would have heard of some of these weight measurements and limits. GVM or gross vehicle mass, GCM or gross combined mass, tare weight, payload, curb weight, and ADM or aggregate trailer mass. At first glance it looks pretty complicated just to get a simple tow capacity figure. But don't worry, it's actually pretty simple. Let's show you some examples to explain why. Curb weight. This is the weight of the vehicle with a full tank of fuel. Payload. Any additional weight added to the curb weight, such as passengers, luggage and accessories. This includes items such as a bull bar, drawers, larger tires, as well as any weight applied to the tow ball, specifically when towing. Gross vehicle mass or GVM. This is the curb weight plus the payload added together. Vehicle manufacturers set a maximum GVM weight limit for each vehicle, so it's important to check that the payload added to the vehicle does not exceed this limit. GCM or gross combined mass is the total of all weight the vehicle can have added, including both the gross vehicle mass and the weight the vehicle is towing. Note that when towing, the tow ball weight is added to the payload and removed from the trailer weight. Tare weight. Tare weight of a trailer or caravan is the total mass without any additions. This means no water, bedding, food or anything else. However, it does include standard gas bottles, as this is part of the caravan's key functionality. ADM or aggregate trailer mass is the maximum weight your trailer is permitted to weigh whilst being unhitched. This includes every addition possible, such as water, food, bikes, clothes and more. GTM or gross trailer mass is very similar to ATM, in that it also includes all the additions to the trailer, except that this is weight whilst being hitched as opposed to unhitched. Tow ball download. This is the amount of weight added to the tow ball whilst towing. As previously mentioned, any weight applied to the tow ball is considered vehicle weight and must be included as part of the vehicle's payload. Notice that the overall weight does not change, but only how the weight is distributed. As you can see, this vehicle has a max payload of 600 kilograms. However, when towing this caravan, which has a tow ball download of 200 kilograms, is now transferred to the weight of the vehicle, meaning that the remaining free payload available now becomes 400 kilograms instead of the original 600. This now reduces the accessories you can add to the vehicle whilst towing. Now that we understand the weight limitations of towing, let's look at a real-life scenario. Consider the following manufacturer towing specifications. Even though the vehicle's tow capacity is 3.5 tons, how much can we actually tow if we happen to be at max payload? Since we know that we cannot exceed the GCM weight limit, we can calculate our actual tow capacity by subtracting our payload and curb weight from the GCM. This essentially will tell us how much weight tolerance we have remaining under our GCM limitation. Notice that even though our max tow capacity is rated to 3.5 ton, we can only tow 3 ton. This is because at max payload we don't have enough weight tolerance remaining within our GCM limit. As you can see, the caravan is hitched to the vehicle, which means that the towball download weight is considered payload and is therefore removed from the caravan and added to the vehicle's weight. This is important to note, because it means that when towing, our free payload available is reduced by whatever the towball download weight is. In the previous example, we saw that the gross combined mass relative to our gross vehicle mass restricted us from towing at the rated 3.5 tons whilst carrying the full payload. Let's look at the same example, but with a different vehicle. This is the same example, but what happens when we have different vehicle specifications? Notice that the max tow capacity remains unchanged, but with this vehicle the GCM is now 7 ton as opposed to our previous example, which was 6 ton. The payload is about the same, but the curb weight is substantially more. Let's see if this has any effect on how much we can actually tow if we carry max payload. Fortunately, as you can see, we are allowed to tow at max tow capacity of 3.5 ton whilst carrying max payload. This is because the gross combined mass limit is large enough that the remaining weight tolerance after subtracting curb weight allows for both maximum tow capacity and maximum payload. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to use our free online tow capacity calculator.